Some people are born with hearts too big for this world. People who pour their soul into every gift they give. Who drive across the sun-scorched highways of California just to see someone smile. Who send good morning messages filled with warmth every single day, waiting for a reply that never comes. And then, one afternoon in the deafening silence of a phone that never rings, they discover the most painful truth of their lives. That they never had a best friend, that they were the only real friend in that relationship. Welcome to Moonlight Animation. Today we bring you the story of Sofia, a story that might just be yours too. In the sun-drenched coastal town of Santa Barbara, California, where the ocean breeze carries the scent of jasmine and old roses, lived a woman named Sofia Reyes. Sofia was 25 years old. Long, dark hair always pulled back in a high ponytail. Wide brown eyes that radiated a warmth so pure it was almost naive. She always wore simple jeans and soft-colored blouses. Nothing fancy, nothing loud. But her hands told a different story. They were the hands of an artist, calloused and marked from years of crafting, because Sofia was a candle maker. In her small studio apartment on Millpass Street, rows of handcrafted candles lined every shelf. Lavender, vanilla, sandalwood, ocean breeze. Each one poured with patience, each one made with love. She sold them at the local farmers market on Sundays, not for fame, not for fortune, simply because creating something beautiful made her feel whole. And Sofia believed deeply, completely, that if she gave enough of that beauty to the world would give it back. She was wrong. It had started 2 years ago on a warm Saturday morning at the Santa Barbara Farmers Market. A woman had stopped at Sofia's stall, tall, confident, blonde highlights catching the California sun, red lipstick, gold hoop earrings that caught the light with every laugh. Her name was Madison Clark. Madison owned a popular yoga studio on State Street, the kind of place with exposed brick walls, crystal displays, and a waiting list 3 months long. "Oh my God, these candles are everything," Madison had said, picking up the lavender one and inhaling deeply. You have to come to my studio sometime. I feel like we were meant to meet." And Sofia, quiet, warm, generous Sofia, had believed every single word. From that day forward, the pattern began. Every Monday morning, Sofia baked homemade banana bread and dropped it off at Madison's yoga studio. She made custom candles with Madison's studio logo pressed into the wax. A gift, always a gift. She sent the first message every morning, without fail. "Good morning, Maddie. Hope your day is as beautiful as you are." Madison's replies, when they came, were brief and cold. "Thanks, girl. Swamped today. Busy with clients? Chat later?" Later never came. When Sofia called and the phone rang and rang until voicemail picked up, she swallowed the lump in her throat and told herself, she's probably teaching a class right now. When her messages sat on delivered for 3 days, her mind, trained in the art of self-deception, whispered, she's running a business, she's exhausted. Real friendship means patience. And so, fueled by that gentle lie, Sofia kept giving. One golden California afternoon, Sofia spent an entire week crafting something truly special for Madison. It was a custom gift set, 3 hand-poured candles in Madison's favorite scents, wrapped in craft paper and tied with a satin ribbon. Tucked inside was a handwritten card that read, "For the friend who lights up every room she walks into, Sofia." It had taken 7 days of careful work, 7 days of love poured into wax and wick and ribbon. Sofia drove the 15 minutes down State Street to Madison's yoga studio, her heart floating with anticipation. In her mind, she had already imagined the scene. Madison would gasp, pull her into a hug, tell her she was the most thoughtful person she had ever met. She walked through the glass doors. The studio smelled of eucalyptus and warm wood. Soft music played in the background. Madison was at the front desk, laughing loudly with a client, her gold earrings glinting, her red lips curled in that magnetic smile. She saw Sofia from across the room, gave her a quick wave, mechanical, distracted, and went right back to her conversation. Sofia stood near the door, clutching the gift against her chest like a shield. 5 minutes passed, then 10. 12 minutes of standing there, growing smaller and smaller in that bright, beautiful room. When the client finally left, Madison turned around, not to Sofia, but to rearrange a display of essential oils on the shelf behind her. "Madison," Sofia's voice came out softer than she intended. "Hey, Sofia. Sorry, it's been a crazy day," Madison said without looking up. "I made you something," Sofia said, stepping forward and placing the gift on the desk. Madison glanced at it. Something flickered across her face. Not excitement, not warmth. Something closer to mild inconvenience. "Ah, you really didn't have to," she said, the words landing like ice. Not the "you shouldn't have" of someone touched and surprised, but the "please stop" of someone who didn't want it at all. She untied the ribbon slowly, lifted one candle, set it down. "So cute. Thanks, girl," she said, her eyes already drifting to her phone. Sofia watched the gift set get placed to the side of the desk, next to a stack of unpaid invoices and a half-empty coffee cup. "I worked on it for a week," Sofia heard herself say, desperate, grasping for something she couldn't name. "Oh, wow, that's so sweet," Madison replied, already typing on her phone. "Hey, I hate to do this, but I have a private session starting in like 2 minutes. You okay?" Sofia nodded, smiled, and walked out into the California sunshine feeling like she had never been colder in her life. On the drive home, Sofia stopped at Chase Palm Park, a quiet stretch of green along the Pacific coast. She sat on a bench facing the ocean. The waves rolled in and out, indifferent, eternal. She pulled out her phone and scrolled up through her conversation with Madison. All the way up, further, further still. What she saw took her breath away. A sea of her own messages, long, warm, overflowing with care. "Good morning. Made your favorite banana bread today. How did your retreat go? I was thinking about you all weekend. You free this Saturday? I found this amazing little cafe I think you'd love." And between all of that, scattered like tiny gray stones in a green ocean, Madison's replies. "Thanks. Busy? Later? Maybe next time." Sofia locked her phone, pressed it to her chest. For the first time in 2 years, she didn't make an excuse. She didn't whisper, "She's just busy," to the silence. She just felt it, the weight of it. The exhausting, humiliating, heartbreaking weight of being the only one who cared. Her eyes filled, not with the dramatic tears of someone falling apart, but with the quiet, heavy tears of someone finally waking up. The kind of tears you cry when you realize you have been lying to yourself for a very long time. The Pacific Ocean stretched endlessly before her. A seagull cried somewhere above, and Sofia Reyes, candle maker of Santa Barbara, finally allowed herself to see the truth she had been running from. She had never had a best friend. She had only ever been one. She didn't know how long she had been sitting there when she heard the soft shuffle of footsteps on the grass beside her. An elderly woman settled onto the other end of the bench. White hair, a pale blue cardigan despite the California warmth. She carried a worn paperback book, but she wasn't reading it. She was looking at the ocean, the same way Sofia was. They sat in silence for a long time. It was the woman who spoke first, without turning her head, without any preamble. "The ocean doesn't apologize for its tides," she said quietly. Sofia looked at her. The old woman finally turned. Her eyes were soft, knowing. The kind of eyes that have seen decades of human heartbreak and somehow remains kind through all of it. A friendship that only flows one way, she continued, isn't a friendship, sweetheart. It's a current that only pulls you under. She patted Sofia's hand once, just once, stood up slowly, and walked away down the path. Sofia watched her go. Then she turned back to the ocean. The weeks that followed were not easy. Sofia still woke up every morning with the habit of reaching for her phone, still felt the ghost of an impulse to bake banana bread on Mondays, still caught herself composing messages in her head that she never sent. Letting go of a one-sided friendship doesn't feel like freedom at first. It feels like grief. Because in a way, it is. You're not just losing a person, you're losing the version of yourself that believed in them, the version of yourself that kept trying, the version that thought one more gift, one more message, one more morning would finally be enough. But slowly, the way California fog lifts to reveal the mountains behind it, something shifted in Sofia. She started spending her Sunday mornings differently. Instead of baking for someone who wouldn't notice, she baked for herself. She started a new candle line, one she called Enough. Simple, unadorned. Just a clean white candle in a glass jar with a small label that read, "You were always enough. You were always the gift." It sold out in 2 weeks. And so, dear listener, sometimes the most powerful act of self-love is not adding more to someone's life who has never once asked themselves what they add to yours. Sofia didn't become bitter. She didn't become closed. She simply became honest. Honest about what she deserved. Honest about the love she had been pouring into empty spaces that were never meant to hold it. And when she finally stopped filling Madison's world with light, she realized there was enough warmth left to finally fill her own. If you are Sofia today, if you are the one who always texts first, always shows up first, always gives first, please hear this. Your love is not too much. It has simply been going to the wrong place. Thank you for watching Moonlight Animation. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe, because someone out there needs to hear this today. Until next time, keep going, keep glowing.